Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepa, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kuwa. Beseku, kudileo. Kudileo.
On the spoon to get
Yes,
your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television.
Yes,
Spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon.
But we don't know. It needs to be.
Do you think it's a master Marabia this?
But first of all, we need to know what happened. Without knowing what happened, we cannot make conclusions.
What does it mean for the country?
This is what?
A member of the blog, Frank Foco.
When did he do that? When? No, I don't know. I'm not aware of that.
Honorable Lawmaker, this is the second time happening here. This is the second time happening at the Capitol building. Just a week ago, we also saw a similar situation,
Right.
and then
It's a very old building. There were several renovations that went on. We think that the structure itself is not too sound. We are advised by the contractor.
With this now, will you back up from the speakership? With this happening?
Yes.
Will you back up from the speakership?
Just last question. People are accusing your blog that this is coming from. Do you have any reaction to this?
No, I don't follow.
You actually made a post yesterday, Alumbo, and later on it was removed from.
Alumbo, it's Alamo.
Okay, Alamo. But later it was deleted. What did you delete, Honorable Lawmaker?
Men and women.
Okay.
They have nothing to do with fire.
Okay.
While the chairs usually at the John Timber and the John Timber got burned, and we are seeing it here.
Anyone who says that this chair at the John Chamber, that person, they don't know the John Chamber. This chair has not been hosted at John Chamber. And the first thing I want the public to understand is the historical analysis of these chairs. These are the chairs that were used by John Tupac Mulba and Edwin Melvin Snow Jr. when they were Speaker and Deputy Speaker respectively.
2006?
In 2006. These are historical chairs. So thereafter, when other speakers succeeded them, they stopped using these chairs. And these chairs were kept at the basement of the building. One might say in the archive or whatever nomenclature gave to it. So when we took over, we felt that this was a historical chair. We needed to have reconditioned it to still be used by the speaker and the deputy speaker. It is against this by draft that these chairs were taken to Central Town. They were well furbished or furnished, and we brought them on Thursday. Thursday was the first day these chairs entered the Joint Chamber. So anyone who said this chair was
Thursday of last week.
Thursday or last week, no, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
This on Tuesday was the first day this chair was used in the Joint Chamber. Okay. So after Tuesday, I instructed the maintenance department to take it back to the lab, to the archive, which is a library. There's a place called LRS, Regulated Information Service.
Yeah.
Near another place there, around there, these chairs have been kept. So anyone in the public thinking or insinuating that these chairs were kept in the Joint Chamber, I think they are joking. But let me say this, so you, the reporter, got to help us and clarify it. When we moved in the Joint Chamber newly, were these chairs in there? No, I'm asking you. When we moved in the Joint Chamber newly, were these chairs in there? Mama, the people not seeing your face here, I want to
No, we cannot answer yes or no to you. We expect you to explain that. That's journalism.
You are the facts finder. You are the one who to do the inquiry for the public. You went there when we moved in the Joint Chamber, you were there. Did you see these chairs? Yes or no? So by your response or your analysis, or let the public go back to the past video of the section, what are the chairs are seen there? Tuesday were the first day these chairs arrived in the Joint Chamber after they were being reconditioned. So
Today, I think it's good news for all Liberians. The House of Representatives have worked seriously on the budget, given a time frame. Much scrutiny was done on this budget. The budget was received at 851 million. And I'm glad that the budget is passed today at 880.66 million. A difference. There are rigorous measures that will be put in place so as to be able to generate more revenue, as has been discovered in the scrutiny process. And this is good news that Liberia is going to move a little bit further, because with this budget, there are serious concerns reflecting the increment of salaries for teachers, for nurses, for help for police, the paramilitary people. There are serious concerns about bridges, improving our education.
Okay, so folks, thanks for joining us tonight. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We want to appreciate all of you for joining us tonight. Thanks for um, coming on. Joining us from across the different social media handles, and many thanks to our folks in Radio Land for joining us as well on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric FM 101.1, and a host of other radio stations across Liberia. I'm Nelson Colette, and this is the Late Night Show. And I want to welcome everyone tonight. Kindly share the program as you join us. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. And as always, talking about Liberia, bringing you updates on the issues and bringing you some analysis on those different issues as they unfold every single day. I want to recognize a few of you just before starting the show tonight. Some of you who have joined us in the comment section. Damawa Koli, Hashim Famole, Jolly Clinton, Eric McGill is here as well, Moses Momolu, Ike Seaton. I see Dominic Batu, Eric McGill, Mardia Gibson, Hipko Kasi is here as well. Matu, that's Majatu's son. And I see Russell. I see Russell McGill, Hipko Kazi. Thanks to all of you joining us tonight. Madam Marcia Snelling, Otaka Akahu, William B. Morris, Harry Do Tapet Jr., Josh Watkins Jr., all of the juniors, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to have a great show, a lot happening across the country. There's always something to talk about in Liberia, and we're going to make sure tonight we bring you all of the happiness here. Let me go across and bring Morba on. Morba, it's good to have you on tonight. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Okay, on me myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, and thank you to our many listeners. I hear you calling some of the names. They always follow us. They're our people. They're part of the Spoon family. We tell them thank you. We appreciate it. For taking all their time. Listening to us all the time. And getting up. We update them about what's happening in the country. And next, I want to say thank you and thank you to you also for giving us the opportunity to express our own political side and also our grievances pertaining to our country as well.
Yes, thanks a lot, Morba. And as always, we come on here to talk Liberia, to discuss the issues that matter a whole lot to the forward march of our country. And we want to say thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. It's going to be a great show with the many happenings across the country. And let's hope our folks joining us tonight can share the program as it come on. So we have a great conversation. So much happening across the country, Morba.
Yep.
The 2025 budget, as stated from the very start of the week, was passed today. The House of Representatives passed the budget, and the Liberian Senate on today also concurred with the lower house on the passage of the 2025 budget. The budget is in the tune of 880 million, and this is a kind of this is a growth. Liberia is seeing a growth, an increase in the national budget, given that there is the passage now. The next thing we are going to be looking forward to is that once we come back from, especially for those who are going on the break, once we come back from the Christmas, the New Year, immediately by 2025, we're going to see the implementation of the budget. There are a few agencies, institutions that have been raising concerns with respect to them not being called for budget hearing. I saw a post from the LDS Managing Director, Director General, For example, with respect to why the LBS did not get a call for a budget hearing. And as per what we've seen in time past, Alfred, welcome to the show. As per what we've seen in time past, the relevant ministries and agencies will go before the legislature and have what you call the budget hearing. And at the budget hearing, they will say, more or less give an account of how they use what was entrusted into their care for the previous year. And then if there's an increment in the budget, or if they want an increase in their budget or whatever, why the legislature should allot what is being captured in the draft budget for them, why they can also at that hearing give reasons why they think the legislature should increase their budget, and all of those different arguments will go on and stuff like that. So yeah, but we've seen both houses pass on that very important instrument. This is what the finance minister wanted. Honorable Augustine Quay Gavwan, immediately when he took over, he was more concerned about, making sure that things are done in time, and that's why he tried to do it within the time frame. About 3 months ahead, the budget should be presented by law by the end of October, and then November, December, and all of that by the end of November. Sorry, and then you can start not November, but sorry, the end of September. Yeah, I stand to be corrected on that, but the budget should be presented some months ahead so that all these different formalities will go on. And as per his expectation and all of that, we've seen that the budget have passed. So it means that everything is falling in line, and because that was one of the major concerns that a lot of people had with the unfolding at the Capitol building. So many people had the fear that the budget would not have been passed, and by that, the economy would have been shut down, the country would have been at a standstill, government ministries and agencies would not have been able to, carry on their functions smoothly. Now, thankfully, for so many people, the budget is now being passed by the legislature. And then next up is that um, they following the burning of the Capitol building, the joint chambers, and the return out of the legislature, the majority bloc had a session today at the Monrovia City Hall. And yes, immediately after those chairs were removed, they started to buy their own chairs. And those chairs, they were no longer leaving it in the joint chambers, but they were rather taking it with them when they go in the carry, when they're about to have session, they bring it back. They had a special van, that had that tax, that responsibility to remove the chairs and stuff like that. So based on what happened, it still did not prevent them. They were able to successfully have session today at the Monrovia City Hall, where they were able to conclude on everything and saw the passage of the draft budget for 2025. And so with that passage, what this means now is that they've lived up to the pronouncement, when they said the budget will be passed latest Friday, and it was done today. Now, on the flip side, there are a few lawmakers who were suspended. We should have the photos of those lawmakers. Let me see. We should have the photos. Okay, so these are the lawmakers you see right here. Those lawmakers were suspended some time ago. Edo Papi Flomo, District 18, Abu Kamara, District 15, Representative Marvin Cole, District 3, Bon County, Honorable Alex Noah, District 3, Sino County. You have Zina Norman, District 1, Wapolu County. You have Eugene Colley, District 3, that's District 15, District 5.
15, I'm 5, 15.
5, right? Okay, that's District
No,
District
District
15.
15.
No,
Bone
it's
I think,
County.
yeah.
Bonka did not get 15
Yeah,
district.
Some of
That
the people
district
that went
5.
farther is only 5,
yeah.
but at
Bone
15
County
only.
doesn't have up to 15 districts. That's a problem. But Franks are focused. So all of those lawmakers were suspended, and then subsequently, actions were being taken. The plenary of the majority black made a decision to take action against those lawmakers. Though up to now, a majority of them have said that that suspension, they not get time for it. They say that real suspension, they in fact that Chinese suspension or whatever. But Sandy, welcome to the show. The majority black, as part of their workings today, took a decision. They confirmed that over $2 million Liberian dollars that was originally designated as December salaries for 7+ lawmakers have been deposited into government's consolidated account. And so that disclosure was made by Representative James Collier, who happens to be the Rules and Order chairperson there from the majority black. And so they are saying that those lawmakers, those suspended lawmakers, will not receive salaries for December, and the money will remain, and those people will remain under suspension for more than 3 months, in line with legislative decision, with the decision that they've taken at the level of the House of Representatives. So Representative Marvin Cole, Representative, and all those lawmakers' names we just mentioned, they will not be taking pay for the next 3 months. So the folks are saying that they're starting with December. And so the 3 million, over 3 million Liberian dollars, over 2 million Liberian dollars is being deposited into the government consolidated account. So this is where we are. And with a whole lot happening across the country, I'd like us to kickstart the show. Welcome to the program tonight. And let's jump straight into the conversation, guys. I mean, with the action taken by the lawmakers, a decision to suspend their colleagues and all of that, this is big. And this is something that, to some extent, is getting mixed reaction. The public are seeing it in different ways. From the angle of those lawmakers and the majority black, they think that those lawmakers who are being suspended today were the perpetrators of violence at the level of the House of Representatives. They caused chaos. They brought hooligans. They carried hooligans at the legislature. They prevented them. They insulted on the grounds of the legislature. They prevented them from having session even when the speaker was away. So as a way of setting precedent, according to them, those guys need to be suspended, and not just suspended, but without pay. On the flip side, those guys think that everything that's happening is not in line with best practice, and so the suspension is not something that they will honor. Now, the budget was passed today, and very interestingly, following the passage of the budget, Councillor Kofa posted Otto Vari. I'm gonna go back, to that post. I will get it and pull it up. He posted Otto Vari. The exact words used in the ruling from the Supreme Court. And then Senator Miguel posted this: I am deeply concerned about the nationwide health workers' go slow protest. I appeal to health workers to return to their duties while calling on government to urgently address the outcome, their concerns to prevent further tragedies. Health workers are protesting as well. Senator Sir Hali Joseph is one of those persons that's equally calling for health workers to return to health facilities while their plights are being addressed. Since, in fact, the ordinary people are the ones who feel the pinch of the actions that those people will take. So these are just a few of the issues. Again, welcome to the program. Let's start the conversation tonight. With you, Moba.
Yeah, thank you, Nursing. Jala, how you doing, brother? Yeah, look, Nursing, a lot going on in Liberia, actually. I think for the representative, we have said it a lot. We have talked about the issue a lot of times. Uh, for the 6 people I know that been suspended, I think you know it just confusing in a sense that the majority black suspending the minority black because they interrupted section and there was a lot of chaos trying to break the door, breaking chairs and other stuff. But again, when you look at it on the other side, you'll be thinking that one of the big saying, like they always say, anything that happen in a house, a more lawmaker, a leader in a house, nobody hold anybody responsible. So are we not asking questions to the majority black that whatsoever happened in that chamber, what happened, what the men if the men went there, break the door, trying to get in, do whatsoever, is the same chamber all in their lawmaker? Are we holding them responsible too? So these are questions we need to ask some of
So,
them.
but Mama,
Merci.
do you think this action is prudent at this time?
Yeah, but
The folks are saying that they want to set precedent. For example,
what?
if you went to some of the
No,
places that
I'm
we played, the whole
Merci.
scenario about people tear gassing, another group tear gassing, another group while they're having
And they
session,
get 2
I
years.
think the precedent they're trying to set.
Yeah, but who? Yeah, but look, Nestle, that's what I'm asking. So based on what they are saying, right, and what the minority lawmaker did, that's where the report coming from that they were tear gas and there was a lot of destruction in the building, right? And what they said according to that report. Now, my question to them. So because Nelson, remember now, you get called by other people that on the other side, even on the majority side, say, whatever happened in session, that it. Nobody dare to question anybody because it happened between. So people say they carry gangster. People say they carry other people. So are they holding the lawmaker for the people they carry that committed those crimes, or they holding the lawmaker because the lawmaker that was in our proximity when when the incident occurred? That's my question. But saying that, nursing the suspension, the suspension that is suspended lawmakers, I think those lawmakers, I think to me, not set no precedent. If they put gas to fire, and end of the day, the Liberian people will keep looking at this saga going until the next.
But Maba,
next 5 years.
on the aspect where their salaries for the month of December, over 2 million Liberian dollars, is going back into government consolidated account. What do you make of that?
Nursing, Elioma wants that even the majority of black shouldn't take pay because they did nothing. They did nothing. So if you're talking about people who you suspend, they didn't take pay. What about you? What you did to get a huge amount of money? To say you giving certain people amount of money. Their pay and you guys taking pay. I think it is wrong, Nelson. Let me conclude by saying this. I'm just saying my own, right? In Africa, when you carry your own statistic in Africa, Nelson, say that one day, carry your own statistic. How for the developing country right now, to speaking, like progressing, that people who ruin with Ado lawmakers and things. Although they're there, but the president take charge. Look at Burkina Faso today. Look at Guinea. Look at Mali. Those countries that are just called to you, Nelson, go make a research how they're growing very fast without the implementation of lawmakers. Because when the president wants his thing to be done, even the money we're giving out people, it's a lot of money. But you can take that money today, you put it in private school, you put it in hospital. What happens? Liberian benefit. But we're giving it to them. There's no law that benefited Liberian people. So everything will come here and discuss the legislature matter, which of course the Liberian people are not benefiting. That's our problem. And as we still going with the legislature issue nursing for the next 100 years, Liberia will remain the same. I'm telling you this. As long as we get legislatures, Liberia will remain the same. I'm telling you this. You can go, you cannot.
Thanks a lot.
That's my view.
Thanks a lot, Mobile. Let's hold you there, and let's hold you there and take Alfred on this issue. The suspension. You have the entire listing here of the lawmakers who have been suspended, and not just suspended, but their salaries for the month of December, especially now, with we found ourselves at the end of the month, at Christmas year, Christmas season. And even in the Christmas season, all the lawmakers, they're not taking pay. And maybe we should zoom it in a little bit to see the salaries of those lawmakers. Abu Bana Kamara, $356,000. And you have the what, $356,000. You have Honorable Ellis Norma, $356,000. You know, all of that. You add all the figures here together, is $2,492,297. The salaries of those 7 lawmakers that is being diverted to government revenue, government consolidated account. And they're saying that the Ministry of Finance should not should not make any attempt to pay those lawmakers. Put the money back in the consolidated account to set precedent. What do you think here, Alfred? Is precedent being set?
Nothing. As you were talking about the 4G or the 5G budget that was passed and looking at how our people behave, it made me to go back in my closet to show you this book. You see that book? It is called The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. I did this book in high school. It's a literature book written by Ayikwe Ama of Ghana. In this book, I will encourage you, Nelson, if you have free time, to read this book and see the African mentality. I'm talking about the corrupt African mentality. And try to zoom in on the behaviors of so-called educated Liberians, and they can call them the native Liberians, so-called native Liberians. Look at how the guys are fighting. Look at how the guys are treating our country. It saddens me that today the budget is being discussed. They're so-called majority black. There was not one lawmaker that argued on the budget as it relates to the transformational aspect of the budget to his constituents. None of them. All they are fighting for is chairmanship, co-chair on Ways, Means and Finance, co-chair on transportation, co-chair on forestry. That's all they're fighting for. That's all they're fighting for. At the end of the day, they go beyond the guys to be taking money from their own concession and all of that. That's all they're doing. Tell me, for God's sake, what kind of country that is serious for business, you will have a budget that is not scrutinized, that is not being filtered. It just passed just like that. So I was wondering, my representative of Grand Cayman County, Okpa District, from where I come from the day Liberia was created, the road from Mana River through Congo to Lofa Bridge is still, in fact, it's worse. There has been no contribution in terms of fighting for the development of that part of Liberia. It's still in shambles. But you have people at the level of the legislature, they are fighting. They have not even come to the point to recognize the destruction that happened to the country in terms of the capital building. They're not even thinking about that. I didn't hear no one talking about investigation in terms of the destruction of the building. Nobody I heard this morning talking about it. The only thing I saw on the floor was somebody standing up. They don't even know how to present. The common presentation our lawmakers don't even know how to present in terms of motion. What kind of serious motion you guys can be discussing? Because when you raise a motion, the motion should carry weight. The motion should carry something that at the end of the day, it will yield fruits. But I rise, I move. No, these people are not serious. Liberia is in a bad state, my brother. And to the question you ask as it relates to the people that are not taking pay, the people will not suffer. If it takes 5, 6, 7 months, those guys will not suffer. Because what they have been stealing before, they will continue to live on it. Only you and I, the common people, that we the one will suffer the nonsense that they are doing in the country, Nelson. That we don't want to suffer it.
So,
because no, Nelson, if you understand,
do you see this as the right precedent being set? Now, the folks from the majority of black are saying that these people vandalized this place. They prevented us from having session. They brought people in. They fought us while session was going on, and they removed the chairs. They said they wanted to do renovation or whatever. They removed the chairs. Look, they tear gas us while we were having session. We didn't retaliate, but we want to set the right precedent. And that precedent is to make sure that these people are suspended. 7 lawmakers, $2 million Liberian dollars diverted to government consolidated account to set precedent. And for 3 months, this thing is going to be happening.
What kind of precedent? What kind of precedent? What is the trigger down effect of that precedent to the Liberian people? What is the trigger down effect? When you set precedent in a country, it lives with generations to come, that they can fall back on and say, those that came before us, this is what they did, and this was the result they got. What level of precedent does that have in terms of trigger down effect on the Liberian people? Is that a law that will create new schools in the country? Is that a law that will ensure that infant maternity in the country will drop? Is that a law that will create more job opportunities for the people? Is that a law that will have strong institutions that somebody can just get on and say, people can just get on and say they will remove a speaker, then you have a president who's there and keep quiet, and at the end of the day, it leads to chaos? Then they say they're fighting for the rule of law. Why can't we look in each other's faces and say, look, you made a mistake, which is the truth. The so-called majority of black made a mistake because it happened in the past. We always talk about the issue of the culture of impunity. No one respects the law in Liberia. It happens in the past, so it can say happen again. And this is what we want for it to stop. Because you will find a group of people in the not too distant future will get together and impeach a president. And we say, because they have quote-unquote coordinated branch of government, they can decide on what to do in their branches and nobody taking action. That's why yesterday night I told you, Article 50 of the Constitution gave a resounding responsibility to the president to be able to put things into place when things are going out of hand. Unfortunately, this man president that I suppose have failed us miserably. He has failed us. You listen to the president, you say, I don't care what they do, we will develop the country. So you know what that means to me politically? It means that the president supports this renegade reactions that is counterproductive to our democracy. Because I do not see a Rachel Kuhn who went into an election with fanatic cover and lost, wants to be a leader in the midst of chaos. This is unfortunate. And Nelson, I will say this to you. I don't know how much prayer we have to pray for Liberia again for the people mindset to change.
Thank you. I want to hold you there a bit, and let's take Sandy on this one. Sandy, your take. Is precedent being set here? I mean, are we making progress with this whole thing? Capitol building, the rotunda of the legislature, the joint chambers of the legislature, where the president is supposed to be in the next couple of weeks, be standing to present or to address the nation. The State of the Nation address has been burned down. And in the midst of the hula baloo of Capitol Hill, 7 lawmakers who were suspended some months back, the majority black is saying, look, we need to set precedent. We need to start this thing right. And these 7 lawmakers, you are our colleagues, but you will not get your salaries for the next 3 months. December pay over $2 million Liberian dollars, divert it to government consolidated account. What's your take on this, Cindy?
So Nelson, can you hear me quite loud, right?
Yeah, you are very clear, sir.
Good evening. Look, it's a joke. Okay, so the figure is 2.4 million. Let's just say 2.4 million, almost 2.5 million Liberian dollars. That's about 13,000 US dollars. Nelson, that's about 13,000 US dollars. These lawmakers need to come out and tell us where are the rest of those guys paid. We know that no lawmaker in Liberia make $1,978 a month.
That is, if you were evenly distributing the amount.
If you divide that 13,852 US dollars.
What's the rate you're taking here, Cindy?
I mean, that's what I am finding. So you tell me you're ready, like, bro, we divide by the rate. What's your rating like, bro?
Now, this is very interesting. So let's take 190. Since the rate some places is 186, let's take 190.
Okay, so let's do the math. So it's even funny that they're bringing Liberian dollar. Where is the US dollar? These guys make over 8,000 a month in US dollar each person. And you're only presenting us Liberian dollar, making the figure big. 2 million Liberian dollars. So the man water out there will say, yeah, you're doing your thing. You're thank you for punishing those people. You're thank you, you're taking their money. But they are lying to man water. They are lying to you. They are lying to Paflomo. They are not taking those people money from them. It's only about, Nelson, do the math. 2.4 million, do the math. 2,492,297.18.
I have the figure here. Just go ahead.
I want to know the figure. Let's tell they put the figure. I want to talk about the figure. What is the figure in US dollars?
Don't put Nelson on the Nelson do provoke Marvel.
Let's get it like put the figure.
I will not do Paraki Mavia, you know, but 297.18. All right, yeah. Divide by 190. So it's $13,117.
$13,117 divided by 7 people.
Yeah. So
they are saying it. I'm looking at it.
Yeah. $1,873.
$1,873. That's why you are taking from somebody who's making over, from what we know, 8,000 a month. Because my representative from district number 3, Brian Gida, told me he's taking home 8,000 plus $3,000 for a gas. That's why he told us in the Grand Gida chat room.
8,000 USD.
The man said, yeah. The man said taking 8,000 USD. The honorable.
Cindy, I want to understand something.
Let me take
so
my
your
time.
lawmaker from Grand Gila County said he told in the chat room that he takes home 8,000 USD per month.
Yes, plus 3,000 USD gas.
3,000 USD worth of gas.
Yes.
Now, but if what he said is something to go by, then it means that there are conflicting accounts coming from the very legislature with respect to how much the lawmakers take. Because I remember there was a senator who was being interviewed on this very platform who said that they make $2,000 in gasoline. Coupon, gasoline, $2,000. Now, so if you're a lawmaker who is a representative, now a senator said that. So if a representative is saying that they make $2,000, let's say $3,000 in gasoline, you know, that's conflicting the account. But go ahead, Cindy, go ahead.
Right. So no, Besa, your comment is right. So then that's what I'm asking for. They came out and say that they have taken 30% of those guys' salary, and I want the clarity as well. So Besa is arguing that our 30% we're seeing is just the LD component. That means the 70% remaining. The 70% remaining is in USD. Are you also taking away that 70%? But you came up to the Liberian and said we have taken their salary and given it back to government, into the government consolidated account. Will you now come back and tell the Liberian people and give us how much you took from those 7 people in USD that you have also put back into government consolidated account? If you cannot come back to tell us that you have put that 70%, which is in the USD, into the consolidated account, then what happened to that money? But let's go back to the issue, Nelson. I think they are continuing to create chaos, division among themselves. They're showing power. We are 43, we are more than you, we have power. This is not any precedent. This is just chaotic. I think this thing need to be settled. The House need to be reconciled. They need to be united. And they need to get back to work and do the Liberian people's work.
What do you mean by reconciliation? What is reconciliation in this case?
The
That the
House is
majority
divided.
black should go to the minority black and say we forget it here. Let's go back to the status quo ante. Let's have Councillor Kofa presiding as speaker over both the majority and the minority black. Do you see that as something that's anywhere near possible?
Look, Nelson, if the president of our country has stepped up to tackle this issue, or if he's willing to not address it politically, to be biased, but if he's willing to bring these people together as the father of the nation, I think it's possible to bring that group back together. We need the group back together. Do I see Funati being speaker? I don't think so. I think at this point, Funati himself is not interested in being speaker. I think what Funati is fighting for is that he wants the rule of law to be respected. I don't think Funati believes that those men and women can come honor his gavel at this point. I don't think he's believed that. I think the politics has surpassed the whole thing, and I don't think Funati wants to lead this group anymore. But let the rule of law be respected. Let me agree with Alfred on this budget that was passed today, Nelson. It's a shame. And now we're telling health workers to go back to work, not to protest. What is in it for them? What was in that budget today for them? What is in it for agriculture? That budget was not scrutinized.
We're going to get to that aspect. We're going to get to that aspect, but this is very important. And Sandy, just take 20 seconds to conclude, then we'll bring Fambola.
I will say this, and we'll get to that aspect, but I will say this. I am telling the health workers, our health professionals in the country, continue to protest. Do not go to work until these people can genuinely respect you. It is time that we pay the right people the right amount. Instead of paying representatives who bring nothing to the table, huge amount, we must pay our profession. We must pay our frontline staff. We must pay the health workers. We must pay our security sectors, the police, so that they can protect the country, so that they can provide services that we need to move the country forward. If you are paying a medical doctor, a neuroscience surgeon in the country, $2,500, it's a shame. It is a shame, and that's why the only neuroscientist we have in Liberia is being paid a month, $2,500. That is a shame. So let them continue to protest until the government can recognize and respect them and is willing to pay them.
Cindy, we're going to get to that aspect. We're going to get to that aspect. I want us to zero in with the lawmakers, the action, the suspension, the amount going to government revenue. Fambola, you want to
amount going to government revenue is nothing, my brother. It's a peanut.
Thank you, Nelson. Man, let me start off by saying, what's up, guys? Moba and Alfred, and my first time meeting you. Nice to meet you. Sandy, what's up, my man? Today I'm angry a little bit, but I will just have to suppress my emotion and let's just go directly to the issue. I know that they said when the hair of the horse died, that house become an empty shell. So many a times when anything happens in the country, everything goes to the president, and that's fair enough. But the issue happening on the Capitol Hill, it is something that we all have to treat that matter with some caution. You know, it's a sensitive matter. You know, there are people that we hold in high esteem, and we thought that when they go upstairs or when they go in their house, there are a lot of things they have to put in order. But it is unfortunate that many a times when we look at the House of Parliament and you see people using invective on the floor instead of using policy. My man, we that's why sometimes people always like to say, oh, because he gone to America.
But when you see how the American does that stuff, President Trump elect already, he was talking about deporting people. There are some governors who are saying we will not agree for you to deport people. Their difference was based on policy. You never see them insulting, you never see them saying anything contrary. It was just straight on policy. But in our country, Liberia, we don't go on policy. People will just go and just say any kind of a thing. And in the end, and Liberia is a very good society. Once you say bad stuff about the government, there are some people who will support you. And the other people who on the other side will say, no, you're saying bad thing about the government. We cannot continue going on that path. Let us try as much as possible. We love our country, Liberia. Let us preach only positive messages. The message about continuing the protest with the health worker, for you to tell health worker to abandon their post.
Family, we're gonna end with that conversation next.
Yeah, okay, let me just go with money they took from the people. Let me just end with that part.
Yeah, the suspension and the salary, the seizure of the salaries of 7 lawmakers.
Look, that money, in as much as I don't really see it as a precedent. Let me be honest with you. It's not a precedent. That money, they're just going to I know those lawmakers, they are just trying as much as possible to tell their colleagues that look, we are already in charge. So the more you guys stay away, and these are things the other lawmakers will. I know after a few times, those guys will come back and say, "Oh my man, they get found way to let those things go." But that money is not going to. Nobody going to see that money. The money going to consider their account. What's going to happen there? The Liberian people not going to see it.
So, but at the end of the day, they're going back. It's going back into government's account, and government decides what to do with the money. It could go towards addressing some of the issues now, like we have with the health workers, and some of the different.
So listening on that effect, I listened to the presentation today. I know that the most important thing that I saw in that entire thing was that all the lawmakers complained about they were pressed with time. Because there are so many chaos up Capitol Hill, they never have enough time to do that. And the year is almost to an end. Any attempt for them to delay this process for a further time, it will cause serious constitutional crisis. We all know that. So they were pressed with time, and you saw how speedily they did it today. And then they sent it to the House of Senate, and the Senate did not even delay, and they concur with it. So we are pressed with time. I know
who created the time. Who created the chaos? Who created it?
They themselves, and that's the reason why they did it the way they do it. So nothing else we can do. We can sit down here for the next 100 days. We dash our anger. We will not change the fact that they have already done it.
Fumble it. Okay, let's take it one step at a time. The suspension, the seizure of the salaries, you think is not precedent? Precedent is not being set.
It wasn't a precedent.
Why do you think it's not a precedent? Why do you think it's not a precedent? When the folks on the other end are saying that, look, the people did this, that, X, Y, and Z, and so because of that, we need to take this action so as to set a deterrence. Why do you think it's not a precedent?
Taking 30%, it's just a menu portion. How much is that money that you already? If you want to really set a precedent, they are not working. Since you consider them, they are not working, and you want to show them that you are in charge. Don't take 30%.
My information is that even the 70% was seized as well.
Oh, if that is so, then that's fine. If you're not working, you don't have to get paid.
The suspension, immediately when those guys were suspended, they were given some time to avail themselves. When they didn't appear before the majority black, the plenary, the group there reached a decision that if they cannot avail themselves, they will be suspended without pay. So whether Liberian dollar component or US dollar component or gasoline or whatever, they will be suspended without pay. And this is what is being enforced now.
Yeah. So for that, I just wish that money that will be taken away from them for the next 3 months. I don't know whether if you do the mathematics, whether it can able to settle some of the damages. Which are the damages said they already burned the capital. So what next now? I don't even know. They already burned the capital. So where the money going to
okay.
to do?
Thank you. Thank you, Family. Now, I want us to come back to this health workers issue because this is where we're going to end up from. Afra, you wanna say something quickly? Then
Eh,
we start.
on the issue of precedent, if these guys are serious for precedent, right? We want them to come back on the legislative floor and do a thorough debate in terms of moving Funati Kofa and get the number and remove him. Then we know that they can set precedent. But to come here and talk about $2 million you suspend for, they are jokers, all of them.
Okay, thank you. Let's show you that. Now, let's come to the health workers issue.
There's no more debate on moving.
The health workers, on one end, are saying that, look, we are professional people. We went to school for so many years to obtain the education we have, and we're employed. Some of us went out of the country, decided to come back to serve our country, but we're not being paid well. The classification is something that needs to be looked at. As part of their plights, the health workers are saying that some of them will receive a letter that says you are a specialized doctor or you are a general practitioner, whatever they call the medical doctor, a nurse. But in some cases, they will be paid far below what the people who what their actual qualification is. They get to be paid far below that. The salaries is something that barely take care of them and their families. Now, I had a conversation with one of the health workers who showed me his this thing is very interesting. I will not mention the name of that person. He showed his alert when his salary came. And that salary I saw is less than 200 United States dollars. The salary for that hair practitioner. The man said he has 2 masters. The salary he showed me on that phone was less than 200 USD. Now, and he said, we're in this position, we're in this space, and people expect that, yes, once you're a health worker, that there's an expectation that, oh, yes. But he said that's not the case. And they are getting out. I've been calling on national government. The last time I engaged with them was on the grounds of the legislature. They went to present a communication to the pro-tem, and all of those things they've done. They've decided to abandon health facilities. And some of the lawmakers are calling them to go back. Senator Sir Joseph, for example, who has been involved with the health sector, donating lots of medical supplies across the country, he's calling on them to go back. He said, please, go back. Let's have the government to settle this issue, but don't abandon the innocent, the struggling women, the pregnant women, the little children, don't abandon them. Senator McGill is saying same. But I mean, let's start the conversation from here, Moba. What's your take on this issue?
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, Nelson, I'm very angry for what like you just displaced about our health worker issues. Yeah, right. I think Liberia's not ready yet, because if you paying lawmaker less than what it's supposed to get, I mean not lawmaker but health worker. So what the lawmaker doing? They're getting more money than health worker, doctors, nurses.
The lawmakers are making law. Why will you be asking what they're doing?
What the law
making
in the interest of the Liberian people. Nursing, look, our doctors, our nurses have to be respected and give him more benefit and salary. You know what it takes for a doctor to make $2,000 per month in Liberia? A doctor, you know how many years I mean take? Let me take for 4 years. He go do a small thing, then he go by another year, I think another 4 or 5 years before they may get a doctor degree. Next, my brother Jala, you know. So another day you come look at man.
I'm medical doctor.
Nessie, no, the man know what I'm talking about. Another day you can look at that man. You see, I'll pay you 1,500 per month. Then lawmaker taking 13,000 money. That go sit down there for only 3 days or 2 days in a week. They go sit down there, they go call another thing, they go in the king shot. Then we yell clapping for them. Then the people who saving life getting 1,500 per month. Then when in the budget, you can't even add the people, you can't even add the people's salary up. That's it is wrong. I will tell my brother Jara you for the people to take the street and protest.
But Moba, the protest you're talking about is connected with the lives of innocent people who have absolutely nothing to do with the salaries that those medical practitioners are crying for. People who did nothing to go through what they may be going through.
Nancy,
those practitioners are protesting.
Nancy, only a madman go to bed with his roof on fire. If the health worker take the street, the president will stand up. There will be money that it will go whatsoever they take it from. Or whatsoever
are you also considering how many lives will be lost just in a single day?
Nancy, how many
in 2 days, in 3 days? How many people will die at the different?
You know how many times those people they put been frustrated? You know how many times they put been sending letter? You know how many times they put been calling upon the government? Let us respect that professional, man. The people that know what they're doing. The people went to school to learn. Nancy. So when they been some of them been called to serve that country in areas, we should respect them and pay them what they are qualified for. Some of the people nursing in other countries, they're making $10,000 United States dollars. They're in your country serving, helping people. That's all that rate nursing. We're not even talking about maybe other something. People who did economic, blah blah blah, going to finger canning. But people who saving lives, you gain 1,500, 2,000, nursing making $75. You know what? You know what you're talking?
Let's hold you there and take Alfred quickly. Alfred, your thoughts.
The government need to stand up and work on healthcare and education, man.
Nothing. I like to join my brother Jayo and of course Moba to say, in our Alabran balance, empty bear can sting. The only way that bear will be respected unless something in there. All right? Empty bear can sting. Look, we play with ourselves too much in this country. You have politicians that play with everything. Everything is not serious to Liberia. But we want change. You know how many times these people, hey, look, if I were part of that group, I would tell people, you know what? Everybody stay home. You don't have to come in the street. They don't have to come in the street to be going with placard. Everybody stay home. Do it consistently. Don't do it one day and be sorry.
Alfred.
Everybody stay home. Let's see.
Everybody stay home you're talking about. What did the patient do?
Look, Nelson, let me say this to you.
What did Omar Mere, whose daughter is at the point of
let me say this to you.
And is being rushed to the health facility and may not get a nurse or a doctor to cater to her and may possibly, lost her life. What did she do to go through that?
You know what led to the Arab Spring in 2011? It was as a result of a man in Tunisia who had gone to school, graduated from school, and there was no job for this brother. He was selling an apple on the street. The police went and destroyed his apple. That was the only means of survival. That was the only means he could take out his family. Someone who had gone to school, but there's no job for him. This led to the uprising in Tunisia that led to the Arab Spring. We are joking in Liberia. You send people to school, you pay a lot of government money on them. Then when they come home, then you don't want to pay them based on their qualification. But you get a group of renegades who don't even know how to put anything in place. They sit now somewhere and arguing about millions of the country money. And they're taking huge salary home. But you have a nurse practitioner that has to go to TNIMA 3 years before she can even be recognized as a registered nurse. They're not only doing now, but she had to be rigorously examined before she can get that lesson. She got to go and sit and take tests. She got to be, the people got to be convinced that she's able to do the job in the hospital before they can send her there to go work. But then you're not respecting that labor that she's putting in. Then you say, oh, because the people were dying in the hospital, so why you expect the person that come to provide service? What you expect them to do? They should be hungry. That family should be lying in abject poverty. That's what you want. Then you say you want to create a country where everybody will be proud of. I will argue that these people should stay home. They do it consistently for the next 3 months. Let's see what will happen.
Thank you. You know, I want us to take Sandy on this because this is concerning. We've gone about 3 days into this strike action or whatever the health workers are doing, and it's getting concerning. Okay, at least for Monserrato County here, Cindy, we have GFK, we have Redemption, we have ELWA, we have Benson Hospital, we have all those different health facilities. Just the few major ones, Catholic Hospital, you know, before talking about the smaller clinics. But come to think about the towns and villages in rural Liberia where there's just a single health facility that doesn't even have the medication, at least to talk about equipment to function properly. But then the health workers are on strike.
Nelson, please allow me time to speak on this issue, I beg you. With no interruption, please.
Yeah, because you
Nelson,
are healthcare
Nelson,
administrator. You have
Nelson, please,
expertise
because
in
I know Mobile, Alfred, and
And,
Sandy, they're all going to say the same thing. They're going to talk about people staying home.
No,
and I have a different opinion to that.
No. Fambole, let's give our brothers the time. We're gonna give Sandy extra 1 minute 30 seconds because he is a healthcare administrator, you know, and this is his area. So Sandy, go ahead. Your thoughts on this issue.
I hate to put out what I do, but Nelson, I'm a healthcare executive. I'm a senior director for quality control for the largest managed care organization in the world, United Health Group.
Okay.
I manage government contracts.
So they kill your man, they feed them.
It's not a funny thing, but you can sympathize with us.
It's not funny. Don't even say it that way.
My sympathy. But it makes
Thank
the
you.
largest group. My sympathy, Obo.
Yes, Brian Thompson was unfortunately killed. He was actually my immediate boss. I worked with Brian on several projects. But that's not a joke. But let's get back to the topic. Nelson to pay a doctor who spent 6 years in school in Liberia. I'm not giving the US, in Liberia. You look it up. 6 years, a medical doctor plus internship. Right? If the doctor is going to specialize, that's additional years. Right? And then you pay the guy $2,300, that's the average for doctors. We only have one neurosurgeon in Liberia. He came out recently, he's being paid $2,500 a month. But someone, generator, is getting $3,000 a month. Somebody, generator, is getting $3,000 a month. Your neurosurgeon is getting $2,500 a month. Your nurses, on an average, $50 to $75 a month. My brother, think about that for a second, family. Think of that. Think you are in the US. A phlebotomy in this country will not get paid less than $15 an hour. Think about that for a second. That phlebotomy will only take few classes, maybe for a couple days.
May I say CNA? Just got that one.
CNA. It's bad. It's terrible. It's bad. The problem here, Nelson, is that we have not prioritized those that we need to prioritize. Family, that's the problem, my brother. We paid our president so much, vice president so much, speaker of the house so much, those representatives so much. We paid them so much that when it comes to people that actually serve life, we abandon them. So, family, you found one doctor now having to work for maybe 2, 3, 4 hospitals or medical system. Because if one is paying $2,500 or $2,300 a month, what is that going to do for him? So now you found Dr. Sandy, for instance, working for JFK, Now you have to work for Family Private Clinic. You have to work for Afra Private Clinic so that he can sum it up and be able to take something to his family. The man have a tattoo doctor. All the family depend on him. Family, think about that. The man he's straining his brain. The man is barely resting. The man is going through intense pain. He can barely provide efficient health care, my brother. He can't provide quality-driven care anymore, my brother. That man's supposed to only work one job in order to provide the quality-driven care that our people need. The nurses now, they are moving from one clinic to another, one place to another. Do you know how long this thing been going on like Formula? And you are saying these people should not protest? Formula, the only way the government would listen to them, and I'm saying not just the health worker, our teachers are being insulted, abused. Our security sector is being abused. The health workers are being chronically abused. Protest. Take this thing serious. Let them protest. After I agree with your idea.
Sandy, can we balance this a bit? You know, and I get exactly where you're coming from, Sandy. Yes, you're a healthcare executive. You look at this thing from the administrative standpoint. What John Brown deserves should be given to him. Yes, you know, and I get it from that point as well. You know, but Sandy, there comes a time when we need to localize some of these things. Yes, the US, Australia, Europe, all these developed countries are far ahead of Liberia when it comes to a whole lot. I mean, there are so many things that those countries, you know, I like this guy. The guy doesn't have time whether you're on TV or not. So those countries are far ahead of Liberia. All right. So in the Liberian context, Sandy, can we take a look at the both sides of the coin here? What can you say about the struggling market women who struggle to even buy paracetamol that they're supposed to take when they get headache, but they need to go to the hospital? Those Liberians across the country who do not have money to go to fly to Ghana, to neighboring country when they need some surgeries, they have to go to those health facilities. If those health workers should continue protesting, what become of those people? Do we need a situation where there will be lots of lives lost before the health workers can live up to the oath they took to protect lives, to save lives?
Nelson, don't bring false empathy in this discussion.
Okay.
If anyone you should blame your government. Nelson, if you are not, I'm not asking them to pay them US rate. I'm not asking them that. I'm not saying pay them compared to the US. I'm saying pay them decent enough that they can provide for their family. That after many years of study, they don't have to be beggars. Nelson, your nurses are begging. Your doctors are begging. Your teachers are begging. Your police officers are on the street. They look reckless. They are begging. Nelson, what we can do is to start from the top. Reduce the salary from the top. Let me tell you a country that did it. You know the country already, Rwanda.
Okay.
Rwanda pay her lawmaker far below what you pay your lawmakers. Far below. Do you know there are 15 million people in Rwanda? And the citizens of Rwanda only pay $5 a year for health insurance. And it goes to any of their public hospital for free with that $5 a year. Do you know that? Why your man, our old man in Waterside are selling in Lofa, Grand G, the Bon Country, why do they have to pay for healthcare? Why do they have to pay for healthcare? Our country can do the same. What you do is you reduce the salary from the top, you bring it down, and the rest of that money, according to the majority block, you put it in that consolidated account, it goes to the real people. It goes to the real people. And then some of that money, you can increase your health worker salary to some reasonable standard so that they will not be beggars. Until then, until they can be respected, let me end on this, continue to subject the government to respect you and do it by protesting.
Fambula, let's hear your take on this issue. This is concerning. This is life and death situation. Because, and it's not respective of status, except that a few other people have the financial means of quickly flying out of the country to get better, to get access to better health care. But in the case of real emergency, even your money will not take you there. You wouldn't reach there. In the case of real emergency, before getting on a flight to go wherever you want to go, unless you have a charter flight, I mean, it's going to be another case. But your take on this issue with the health protest?
No matter how bad the situation is, no health worker, I repeat, no health worker should abandon their post, should abandon their patients because they have not received their salary. That is considered a complete unethical practice. And more besides, let's get quality in short. Liberia is not America. And Senior will agree with me. Doctors in America are paid through insurance companies. And most of these insurance companies are multi-million or billion-dollar companies. So they control most of this stuff. So there are people say in this United States, in fact, even in America, there are doctors who are working to 3, 4, 5 hospitals. Gone are those days where you found one person just stationed to one hospital because the demand are more now. So I will not support the idea that says, or the part that says people should abandon their posts to go on protest. If the government owe you money, there are other means.
You know, other means, and I like that aspect, other means. And I still at the onset of this conversation.
Let me lay on that one quickly. There are other ways that you can channel your grievances without abandoning your patients, because there's a lot more that you will lose if you abandon the patient. Then how much is the look? Let me tell you, the ethics of abandoning your patient alone already devalue the whole profession.
Okay, so you think it will be a breach of ethics? It will be a breach of ethics. The oath they took to serve, to save lives, it will be a breach of that particular ethics, or they will be going contrary to the oath they took. But I want you to put this in your shoe, family. Family, you have 10 children. Family, your family, all your uncle, your auntie, they now say all their lapa, they send you to school, you say you want to become medical doctor. Family, you now spend 12, 13, 14, 15 years to specialize. You say you be doctor, man. You know all the gynecology, urology, all the urology, then you're specialized medical practitioner. Family, your 10 children, when they go to school, the school not get time to know whether that doctor children or they make and save life in hospital. All the school know your children will pay their school fee. When your woman go in the market woman not want to know whether you doctor, family. Your woman will get that money before you get food to eat. Family, if you were in the case of those health workers, will you be closing your eyes, no food in your house, but you energized, your children are going to school, you can't afford the bills, even to put LEC in your meter is not easy, but you energize because you want to save life. Make us understand, convince us how
first
this
is. First of all, that scenario is not my scenario, and I can't have.
No.
I can take 10 children. Let me take the 10 children first and put them one side. I can take 10 children. I can consider the family part. Yes, you have family, you have people connected to you. Yeah. I can consider that part, but the 10 children, no, I will not take the 10 children.
Okay. But, leave the 10 children out. I've been in any way you put them. But let's hear you.
Yeah, but the issue here is that you cannot. Let's be honest. There are other ways that we can still channel our grievances.
No, if you're in that shoe, no. Let's come back.
In that position, let me come to myself. Let me put myself in that shoe.
You're going to work for your house. Your whole man is set because your home is settled. You ain't got money. Maybe
I
you
don't
didn't
want.
want to go. You want
I
to
don't
go
want
to
you
work,
to
but
think. I don't want.
your gas finish in your car while you're on your way to work because you not get money. Broke doctor, but you
Whole
need to
doctor
save
that
life.
way.
So how
He said
explain to
broke
us,
doctor.
Look,
family, how do you
Nelson,
express this as a
Nelson, to be
medical
honest
doctor
with you,
or health
and the
worker in
people
like?
who listen to me, they already know that I empathize with the health system. I'm one of the person who have always preached about the revolutionizing of our health system. Yeah, I say it's about time that Liberia beef up their health system. Look, I graduated and I obtained my bachelor's in Liberia in biology and chemistry, and I taught for a couple of years before I even came to the US. And I was teaching health professional schools. And I came to the United States. I went back to health field. I'm a surgical technologist. I work in surgery. So I have seen so many things in healthcare. Like, for instance, it happened right before my very eye.
Family.
I come in.
This is what happened before your eye.
But you put me in the case now. So let me set my own self inside.
Okay, yeah.
Right at
Set your
JFK.
previous well. Set your own
Yeah,
previous.
right at JFK. I took my brother at JFK. He was having chronic diarrhea. My brother was not admitted. He left right in the emergency and they asked us to pay $250 for registration fee. We never had the money. And by then, I only took my brother because it was an emergency. By then, my mom said, take the boy to the clinic to the hospital to Redemption. And as soon as we got to Redemption, they called the ambulance. The ambulance took us straight to JFK. We reached there, we left right in the emergency. I never had money on me. I never had nothing. They did not admit us. My brother left right in the emergency. I said, and guess what happened? Early in the morning, it was one physician assistant that gave me just exactly. Before my brother came to himself a little bit, we left right in the emergency till morning. You see that? So if it was something that was serious, my brother was going to die. So I have seen that. I have seen what the healthcare people go through over there. But it's not enough. It's not enough reason for us to abandon the post. So, for instance, if everybody had passed by us in an emergency, if everyone had passed by us without God saving that physician assistant who came and saw my brother the way he saw him, he said, I'll get you something until your people can come. That alone, that was the hand. So I say, do not abandon your post. Do not abandon your post because there is so much more. Because you saw an oath to protect those people. Whatever money there, money not there, you can still do it. So that doctor who had all that family hanging on him, God will create a way that he'll get something to take care of him.
So the whole
God will be way. God will be way.
Look.
God will create a way.
Family. So you end the whole discussion in the church. So or in the mosque, that way you end the whole discussion now. You get religious side, you get hinged, you leave it there, you find a way.
We always say, look on the boat. They always tell you that the doctor diagnoses, the doctor treat, but it's God that heal. Go and read it. The doctors get that in a book. Right. So the doctor will do the diagnosis, they will treat, but God will do the healing.
I'm
so
that no. I'm not a doctor, but anyway,
please,
that's
please, correction. Correction, please.
We want to go to the phone lines, but let's
let me make correction. Family apparently don't understand the insurance system. Family, we don't pay doctors. With the insurance company, we don't pay doctors. We are the third-party managed care organization. For instance, family is insured with us, United Health Group. Okay, what we do is we mediate his care. Family go see Dr. Nelson Colette. Nelson Colette say, family, I will charge you $2,000. Family, Nelson Colette send the bill to us. We say, but Nelson, no. We know the medical system. This is not how you're supposed to charge the man. You overcharging the man. In fact, the man will pay $500. We go and send Nelson Colette organization. So most doctors here work for big healthcare system. We send it to the hospital. So then the hospital system will pay their doctors. So health insurance don't directly pay doctors. We pay the practices. Now, let me air on the library. Don't forget about USC. Let's go to library. Let's go back to library. 1 second. My man, all the argument will air in the church. It will air in the church. It will air in the church we're talking about. Our legislator salary, they can't air in the church. They don't air in the church. When they don't pay them number, they cause chaos. When they call them back, they say, you can't do the people work. When they also more bread, they say, pay us. They don't pay in the church. But you say the doctor who studied for 6+ years, his salary more in the church. He will go to hallelujah. If I must be pulling the offering boss, you are being unfair to the doctors, to our health workers.
Thank you. Alfred, quickly, then we'll go to the phone lines.
Let me just tell you, my brother, family, hallelujah, never solved any problem in our country. Let me tell you now. Hallelujah, it has never solved any problem. So what we are seeing here is a chronic problem in our country, right? Let me share my experience with you. 2016, I had my first kid in Liberia at JFK. My wife went to JFK. Guess what happened? Nobody went to see her because all the nurses that were on call that night, they were worried about what they would carry home the next day. I have $50 US in my pocket. The midwife that was there, because I knew what was going on, I took that whole money, I put it in her hand. Guess what happened? In no time, the room my wife was in, it was changed. She went on the private ward. She delivered safely. In no time. So don't create a situation except to say those people that are doing that job, they are wicked people. No, they are not. They are not. But people will be happy to do their job when people respect them and give them the honor that they deserve.
Thank you.
Okay? So we are not saying that the people should abandon their patient as reporting it that they say the wicked. No. But action need to be taken. Action need to be taken to change the situation. And not continue that.
I think you're trying to sugarcoat this thing.
I
you,
mean,
Alfred, just said on the show, the people must protest. They must protest.
What do you mean by that? No, I am responding my brother family to say that there are other ways and God will always make way for them to survive. No. That has been a chronic issue. I remember 2010. Hold on. I remember 2010, there was a season about of people protesting. As a result, we have a Secretary General for the National Association being fired. He resigned his post. In fact, they changed him because he put people in the street to protest during Ellington. We saw that. So this thing is an age-old problem. It needs to stop.
Let's go to the phone lines and take some calls. 0555
We can always resolve issue, but not to protest.
We're going to start with you,
especially healthcare.
Because we want to take just 5 calls tonight on the show, and then we'll be off. Hello, 0555. The WhatsApp number is on the screen there. You can call via WhatsApp and make your input as well. 0555 is the number to call. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Solomon Friend. I'm calling you from Malaysia.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Man, the thing I in Liberia, that old age brother. Our forefather like king and did the same thing. So the man get up parable and say, the man you looking at plant a new man on the old man's spot. So the old man that you're still looking at going ahead in that
Thank you.
Thank you. Not be better now.
Thank you. Hello. Let's take this person. 0555 Hello. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, this song with you guys is not bad. I think I believe that it takes action. Your first argument, your big, I think all of them are fair except for the last man who said that it was not a precedent being taken by the legislature. In any organization, they have to be precedent set, whether they are corrupt or they are not corrupt, but the action taken against them, I think, is fair. Next time, they will live up to what they are for the grand people. Those money that have been put in cost, consider the account, it can help a lot in many other forms. So thanks for the discussion, too.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Hello, your name and where you call from? Okay, so let's see. Caller number 3. I don't know what's happening. We keep losing our callers on this line. Let's go to the WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Your name and where you joining us from?
It's William. I call from Fargo, North Dakota.
Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, Nancy, when it comes to the legislature, sending know that it's just the LD portion. So
the USD portion is yet to be shown to us, and we're waiting for it too as well. And pertaining to the health worker, honestly, I don't want to say this, but I think our president kind of heartless because his campaign was actually run by health workers not getting salary. He coming to make the changes,
but
for health workers, yeah.
But William, do you think this is something that'll be fixed in just a few months? You think so?
I don't believe that because this thing because we are trying to help workers keep us thinking. You harmonize our salary, we harmonize your vote. They ran to Joseph Boakai. So for Boakai to sit down right now, not paying the people.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why your audio is going in and out. Let's see if we take another person here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Nelson, Tommy Jr. calling from Virginia. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on. Let's hear you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking my call. Just quickly, just want to say hi to everyone in studio and thank you for the great discussion. I think most of the guys cover everything. I'm in full support of our medical professionals and our teachers getting paid. They're literally saving lives and building futures of our young people, and so they should be paid and paid accordingly. But Nelson, if you allow me, there's something else I want to bring attention to, and it's our substance use prevention in the country. We haven't talked about this in a while. We haven't heard about it. The president created a task force. We have not heard a single thing from that task force. I want to take the opportunity to just call out the president to get his task force to release some sort of data, some sort of information so we know that it's working. Even though we don't hear about it, there are people dying every single day in our country in Liberia from substance use. Thank you for the time, Nelson.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's see if we take the final call from WhatsApp and we take two more from the local line. We go. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we are live. Let's hear you. Okay, too bad we lost that person. Let's go to the local line. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Please reduce. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, the suggestion one other man in there is not correct. To close the hospital, you know what I mean? What to do? Let them find another strategy to resolve this problem, not to close the hospital.
Okay.
Because when the hospital closed, even when the one will not enjoy it. So my advice to do is to find another means to resolve this problem and closing the hospital.
Thank you.
So when the poor not in the hospital, that means the hospital closed.
Thank you. The final person here. Hello.
Morning, Nelson.
Yeah, morning. Quickly. Okay, Charles. Yeah, Charles, go ahead.
Nelson, to the point, I don't think the nations should put their tools down because when they do, people will die. Though they are right to protest, the government is wrong because I remember President William, you humanize our salary, humanize the vote. President Obama was there for them. So it's now that you stand for these people. Okay. One man at LTA can be making 15,000. There are people make 158. Right now, you just need to talk.
Thank you very much for your input tonight, folks. We're gonna hold the calls there and come back to do our closing. Let's start with you, Morba. I think you had something to say just before we went up. We went to the phone lines, and then you can
I'll just do my closing. That's it. You know? All right. So again, Nelson, we all understand the situation that brought. I know pertaining to the health workers, but again, the government need to do something. I think Nelson. Sometimes anyone I sit, I be thinking like the people who started the identical salary thing in the house, all the benefit, gasoline. What the hell you do? Your generator and all getting paid, and people working and getting good pay. Generator making 3,000 generator. Then you get car, all of one. And we make a suggestion here, but the government, maybe so now when we say things, they don't listen, and the fee say, it made no sense. In every developed country, the government get their own station. That money go back to that cover. They only there to feed the government car. You don't gotta get gas money to government. What you do, the government car go there and feed it for 1 week or 2 weeks. They lock the tank. That money goes straight to government cover and do different things with it. More profit come to the government is another way to open avenue for other people to work. It's a job creation right there. But in Liberia, they get the people the gas slate, 3,000 gas slate. 2,000 gas station. Then you get your health worker making 1,500, someone making 500, nurse making $50, nurse making $75. Then we come here, we clap. We say, yeah, because they are only then go beyond the earth to save life. No, they are human beings. They need respect and they need to be well paid because they took more time in school and they studied on a candle, someone on a darkness, someone anywhere. But guess what? They put their time to what today they are exhibiting. So the government need to come out and make sure and help those people carry that salary up and cut all the small gasoline scratch thing. They think they help me, man. What playing the war you go where then the government be paying you scratch card, they be paying you gas money. Jesus, that poor country.
Let's show you that.
It's just frustrating, man.
Mobat and Alfred, you can do your closing.
Nelson, this is why we continue to call on the government, to call on Mr. Boakai. The reason why some of us in the early stage of this regime, we have removed or scaled down our support for the president is because this president is not moving as we anticipated. The president came out with so-called arrest agenda. I'm yet to see the national priorities in this agenda. Because if that was the case, we are going to see some level of transformation even the health sector. Let's just look at the health sector tonight, right? Because I don't want to go back to the legislature because those people are a group of criminals. I don't want to talk about them again.
Alfred, the legislature.
Okay, let me say it good. Those people are a group of legal criminals.
Listen, man.
Those people are a group of legal criminals.
Look, Alfred, they are decent people in the legislature. I mean, as much as the legislature is not a perfect place, as much as the legislature, our legislature, is not the way we expect it to be, but they are decent people who left from private sector, work in international organizations across the world, and they're in the legislature. I mean,
Nancy, please get my time back so I can end my I can do my closing tonight. Get my time back.
Nancy, when I agree for you to come here and insult the lawmakers,
Alfred got to take that one back. That is hasty generalization.
Yeah,
Nelson,
very decent people in the legislature, and that's why I want even our audience to get here. The legislature is not all criminals. This
and
is
the money that we're talking about, they put million there. So I will blame it too. They put that middle law to put all the money that they didn't want, so we talking to.
But anyway,
can I do my closing?
Oh, yeah.
I remember, I think 2019 or 2020, the judiciary branch of government money was not coming. Someone took all the money. What happened? The chief justice got to come and declare them what? Their action unconstitutional. When was the last time you heard any lawmaker holding the budget? One lawmaker holding the budget and say, this budget, I am not seeing the level of increment when it comes to civil servant salary or health worker. So I'm going to hold my vote. I'm going to hold this budget until I see something happen in the budget. Show me one lawmaker. Then we call them legal criminal and they say we're insulting them. But the fact of the matter that's true. They are legal criminals. All right? But let me close on this. Nelson. I'd like to urge our our health workers to do a silent protest. Stay home. Don't get in the street. Do that consistently. And let's see whether Keke Boakai will not take action. Because trust me, my brother, Nelson, this country, the people that live in our country, they don't have no vision for this country. Because if they were, we are going to see things falling in place. Look at, you can go by in history and see countries that fought war. Rwanda is a case study. Look at Rwanda today. You in Rwanda, as if to say you in Europe. Because you have people with vision that say we are going to change our country from the darkness to bring it to a place where we can be proud of it. So, Nelson, let me just close. Let me close, please. I'm closing.
Yeah,
close now.
No. Alfred, we're operating time. We have to go. Lee Kuan Yew, thank you very much. Mr. General Sente.
So, I was talking about this book.
My man,
This book, the beautiful ones are not yet born again. I am not trying to patronize the book, but I will encourage you to go read this book so that you will see the corrupt nature of our people.
Post the book in our chat room, and everyone will get it from there. Thank you very much.
Man, I bring new one. After this one,
let's take Cindy. Cindy, please do your closing.
Look, Nelson, the issue of health workers being underpaid is a serious issue. The reason some of our doctors have pharmacies, or nurses have pharmacies all across Liberia, when the drugs that are supposed to be staying in your hospitals are being stolen and being put into individuals' pharmacies, is because those people are not being paid well. The reasons our police officers are taking bribery on the various streets is because they are not being paid well. No professional person who took upon themselves went for a training of police and say, I want to serve my country, would just want to be intentionally corrupt. But the reason they are intentionally corrupt, or they are corrupt, is because they are not being paid well. The reason, Nelson, that sometimes you will come through RRA and an immigration officer will look at you and say, why you bring for your papa now? Why you bring for your Oma now? Instead of looking at your papers, looking at your lockages, it's because they're not being paid well. The reason when your children go to school, the students now have to pay the teachers, right? I went to liberal school. I graduated from liberal school, 12th grade before I came to the US. The reason your teacher will ask you, they will make your test so hard. They will bring all the vocabulary they didn't teach you, so you can pay. So you can pay them on a cover. The reason is because they're not being paid well. Nelson, it is a sad thing. It's not a joke. People at the front line should be paid well, should be well taken care of. So that when that person is dressing up in the morning, looking in the mirror, they're dressing up, they are energized. They know that they're going to serve. In return, their children don't have to beg for bread. When Papa come in, you don't have to pass through the back door or wait outside the children until the children are sleeping because you have no candy to bring. But when you start to pay Papa well, Papa will come home energized. Papa will wake up in the morning energized to go to work. Now saying, I don't get paid free. I don't work for anybody free. Period. My brother Formula there in America, he will not work for anybody for free. Formula know that. Formula knows that. Formula is eating your time. Formula, you don't have 20 children, we agree. No, listen. Formula children's future is secure. Formula is saying our health workers should sing hallelujah in the church. God will come down. Whereas where Formula is, you will never hallelujah for his pay. If they don't pay Formula every 2 weeks, Formula know his work is in trouble. And they pay him very well. What I am saying, what we all are saying here, Nelson, let's rearrange the pay bracket in our country.
Thank you.
Pay those that you are paying so much money now, reduce it from the top. Pay your frontline staff very well so they can serve your country. That's the best way to do it.
Thank you, Sandy. I want to highlight a comment here from one of our ardent followers, Archie Unbreakable Tape. This is what he wrote. He said, guys, let me ask you, can anyone on this platform, including all Liberian, the war rescued, can it happen in 1 day time or 2 days time? Rescue don't just happen in 11 months time. In 11 months time, when the country have been destroyed for 6 years, you guys just expect things to be turned around in a blink of an eye. That is why I can just laugh sometimes when you people just believe because they say rescue, it was just going to happen. Since 200 plus years ago, Liberia never get rescued. That 11 more,
Let me address unbreakable tapping. Let me address unbreakable tapping.
You want to break unbreakable?
Let me break unbreakable, please.
Look, Nelson, he can come back. He can
gotta
come back
respond
later for that. Let me tell you one thing.
Look, they say
He
make
can come back.
Pastor Fambule, I beg you.
No, I don't want to miss my thought. I don't want to miss my thought.
Pastor, get 1 second.
No, guys, let's do this. We have to go to Fambule.
No, but I'll forget what I want to break.
But
unbreakable.
doesn't want to forget.
Write it down.
Yeah, he can write now.
Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
Say he is not a clergyman. Let him get forget it. Just remember, they say you should meditate on it day and night and let it not depart from your lips. Now the Bible says that. I did not read that book. All right.
Amen, Pastor. Amen.
All right. Nelson, to be honest, we empathize with the health worker. I could only say that. We empathize with them. But there is nothing. There is something that is, let me just term it this way. We call inherent or genetic corruption. When somebody is corrupted genetically, there's no amount of money you pay them can satisfy them. Because if people are patriotic, what little say they gave you, you should know that that is what they gave you. Because you already know what the salary was before they hire you. They already told you what you're going to be taking. And you say, oh, okay, I will take it. You took it and you're working. And more besides the healthcare work is service to humanity first. Every other thing will come. If we have problems, they have channels that we can go to. But for you to say you'll protest or you'll stay away from the health facility, for me, I differ with that with the stronger term. And that is unethical. And it has so many legal implications.
Thank you.
And somebody mentioned here that the bosses for the nurses doing early regime pulled the nurses out to protest, and he was dismissed. And that was the best decision. If Manaseri actually dismissed that person, that was the best decision she ever made. Nobody in a realm man, as a professional health worker, will ever think about abandoning the patient. There's no way I will support that. I say patient care first, and every other thing will go to the referral channel to do that. The lawmaker, I know that is also something that Liberia we can talk about it, because the whole thing started after Manaseri took over. We all know the ghetto boys, to agree with most of the Booker's concession that went on, they gave them this wild benefits. So that's the reason why you see people who even kill to become lawmaker. But if they make that place unattractive and they cut down some of those enormous benefits, if they cut them down, you will see so many people not want to go over there. And they should put other things in place that will put those guys in an order. But the money they're giving it is too much and they become power junk. So that's the reason why. Let them cut down some of those money and redirect it to critical areas, like healthcare and education. And these are things. But the only way Liberia will be correct and things will happen in the best way if when people are patriotic. If they don't go by and teach everybody patriotism. If you love your country, you're not hurt your country. You're not doing anything to hurt the country.
Thank you, family.
That's the bottom line.
Patriotism start from the top too. Nelson, let me break your unbreakable.
Let me teach you in the school first. Let come on the embryonic era.
Gentlemen,
beginning
out of.
Let me get wrap up. Sandy, don't jump in. Let me end 30 seconds. Let me 30 seconds. Let me end 30 seconds.
Family. Please take 10 seconds and just come.
All right, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Any healthcare professional who goes to a facility and steal medication and open another facility outside, that is very, very satanic, is demonic, is baphomet, is unpatriotic, and that person should never be considered to say, oh, they were underpaid, that's a reason. It's not a justification. Nobody should steal something for the general group of the public and carry it to the individual. It should never be justified to say, oh, because the person is underpaid. Police underpaid, so you may go collect bribe. The other person underpaid, the teacher is underpaid, so he may go take money from students. It is not justifiable because the teacher sign contract that they tell him that this is a salary. If he stays himself, he should go by it.
Out of time, guys.
For my own 10 seconds. For my own 10 seconds. For my 10 seconds.
The time
For my 10
already
seconds.
has spent,
We
and
are
all the
not-
comments have already rolled up. We're not seeing any comment anymore.
We are not justifying anyone stealing from the hospital. We should not also justify our legislators stealing from the country, the president stealing from the country, and everybody in government. We say face the entire system. Unbreakable. Let me break you quickly. We are not saying that the president will face the country in 11 months. That's always like when people at school. It's too early. But unbreakable, we are telling you that even up to now, under this president regime, generators are being paid $3,000 or more for gas. That's something the president could have addressed in his first month. In his first month, he could have addressed the issue of somebody generator getting paid than your only neurosurgeon in the country. Your only neurosurgeon in the country is getting paid $2,500, but somebody generator getting gas money for $3,000 a month.
A lot of neurosurgeon get sending some money.
Neurosurgeon can't even afford my lifestyle. $3,000 at nothing.
I know what going.
The man getting paid $2,500 at money.
Let me say money that budget to talk for a late bill to go up.
Let me ask my question quick. Nessie, that quick question I beg you. So all the benefit that people getting, right? The president get the executive power to visit benefit and call it down, or it got to go through the legislature. Like for example, the scratch card, the gas, right? The scratch card, the gas, and other stuff.
The president can just stay in your office and shut that thing down.
No, guys. The scratch card and gas for who?
For the lawmakers, like lawmakers.
No. The president cannot call it down.
Okay, then where about the ministers?
The legislature is a separate branch, bro.
That's why I asked the question. What about the ministers?
Yeah, but guys, let me come in and more about you ask a question, and that's a very good question. The budget starts with the executive. Yes, they do their draft, but it is the legislature that does the allotment. You can put $5 million in budget for any ministry or agency. The legislature can adjust it. They can decide what to go for which entity, what to go for this or that entity. The only thing the president does when the budget goes to him, he signs. If there's something about the budget he's not okay with, he will send it back to the legislature. And if they think they can make that adjustment, it will just be back and forth. But at the end of the day, the legislature is clothed with that responsibility to make allotments. That's why when they debate about the people making plenty of money, you cut down the salary. Who going cut down the legislature salary?
Then why we keep blaming the president? That's my point.
Because the people at the first branch of government are the ones who make the allotments. It's like they gave you the cake. You're featuring the whole. They say share the cake and more the featuring. You're the one sharing the cake.
You know what? You know which one to take.
Anyway, but folks, we have to go.
So the lawmaker, our problem.
But they may not. The $3,000 for gas is not just at the legislature though.
Yeah, I don't want the minister to making it.
Okay, so the president has power over that. The ministers, those are his
on that. Yeah,
no, but again, to some extent, the president still doesn't have power over that to some extent. Okay, so the minister is a minister for a particular ministry. It is the legislature that makes the allotment for that ministry.
So it's not the president.
It's not the president who makes the allotment.
We know.
It is the legislature that makes the allotment for all the ministries. All the agencies are supposed to receive money. So that's
the president. All the stuff on the budget. The president gotta go back. The legislature gotta go back and decide on it, come on the floor, but they will not do it because they're getting free money. Look.
Yeah, to do that, they will have to go for a referendum. The people, again, the power is in the people. The people can go and demand themselves, we want you to call this.
Yeah.
Nothing, can I just make this point quickly while we go?
Okay, Lee Kwan, you just take us home.
Thank you. I will strongly advise my brother to leave the United States tomorrow and pack a bag and go back to Liberia and go work in the government. And let's see, Well, the advocacy he making here, he
My
can
man, what the
he
man
can
say
he can
tonight,
be
I'm back and
patriotic
back.
enough. Listen, he can be patriotic enough to stay in Liberia for just 1 year and work on a pro bono level. That you won't be
Nesty,
patriotic.
can you
Go
be
and do it.
posting the
Now, let
comment
me
the
just
people
close on this.
making
Let me
down
just
here?
say this.
What's
Let
the
me just
comment
say
there?
this.
The
Hold
message are
on.
saying bad stuff to net. I'm gonna
Let
go
me
back
just
and
let me just say this.
All the
Yeah,
people that are
so,
telling you they are Bwaka people. They are President Bwaka people.
guys, we have to go. We have to go. We are seriously out of time.
All the people.
I want to
Don't
appreciate
be
everyone.
moved by the people that say thank you now.
I want to say thanks to everyone tonight for being on here, guys. When you're on the show, please don't look in the comment section. We appreciate you for being on here tonight.
Roof, thank you, Mama. Like,
Amber, we
enjoy
appreciate you. Cindy,
we got a
thanks.
little medal for her.
We appreciate you. Mora, thanks for being on here tonight, folks. Have a good
Man,
night.
to get someone Eric Ned, we can't she get someone our favorite person. When you talk something, she not let her forget it. You be causing me on the